Well, we continue with our series of interviews with various members of the Alberta Fish and Game Association executive, and a real pleasure to have Brian Rudyk, who is the hunting chair for the AFGA, join us today. Brian, first of all, thanks so much and for spending a little bit of time with us. Looks like you managed to sneak outdoors to do this interview.
You bet. No better place, Michael. Thanks for having me, and thank you for the work you're doing for the Alberta Fish and Game Association on this project.
Well, it's the work that you folks that we're here to highlight, and I guess as the hunting chair, maybe first before we get into any specifics, Brian, give me an overview of sort of the types of things that you as a hunting chair need to consider and that you bring forward to other members of the AFGA.
Okay, well, one of the challenges of being the hunting chair for the province of Alberta is that Alberta has got a vast number of ecoregions with a broad diversity of wildlife species inhabiting them. And so just being aware of everything that's going on in the province is one of the biggest challenges to try and keep on top of.
Not only
obviously representing, sorry.
I was just going to say, not only from a species perspective, but from varied hunting techniques. You've got, different seasons within the main season. So it really is quite a bit to kind of weed your way through.
Yeah, for sure. From all of the different opportunities through the different times of the year, from spring hunting seasons for geese and the white geese, snow geese, and for bear, right through bow seasons, and of course now right into all the way into late seasons for elk. So spread out pretty much throughout the whole year.
Absolutely. So when you look at all of that, is there a stated objective at the end of all of this in terms of what you want to see your membership be aware of?
Just the more that they're able to get or be made aware of, the better decisions they're going to make and the better support they're going to be able to provide the association, and ensuring that we're going to have these opportunities for generations to come. And that's always been a goal of mine. I've got grandchildren now that are interested in hunting, and I get calls and emails all the time from members who are saying, my kids are starting out and they were really concerned about being able to provide hunting opportunities and the traditions we've developed for many, many years well into the future.
One of the things that I think that you are looking to do is increase the information flow from yourself to the zones and to other chairs. I guess to what aim? What would be sort of the goal at the end of that?
Well, I think it's been a major goal of our new executive to improve communication and the value that members are getting from being a member of the Alberta Fish and Game Association. And I believe it starts with communication. I mean, often there's a breakdown in people knowing what the association, what the executive is doing and what we're trying to accomplish. And so, one of my goals for this year is to really improve that flow of information, starting at the club level, of course, working with the individuals in their clubs through the zones and to the chair. And it's got to be a two-way communication so that people are aware of all of the issues that we're dealing with, concerns that they may not be aware of that will really help them in not only their personal goals for their hunting but also for what's going to be best for the province and for the wildlife species that we pursue.
I guess, the more hunters that get involved, and maybe this is the question. Let me rephrase this into a question rather than a statement. What are the benefits to a hunter to come to the AFGA, sign up, and what would that hunter get in terms of a benefit to belonging to your organization?
Right. Well, obviously one of the things that we need a strong voice represented by a large volume of outdoors people and hunters and fishermen to be able to promote and you know, pursue our activities and make the government aware of what our interests are and what we wish to accomplish. At the club level, I mean, we often get new members joining clubs to be able to make the connections. In the last few years, even accentuated with COVID, we've had more people joining the fold for hunters and fishermen. And one of the good ways for them to find information and to learn the skills and other things they need to be successful is by making connections, starting at the clubs and then through the zones and obviously with the information that's provided through the association. So you know, the benefits are fairly vast for what members can gain out of it. But you were right when you're saying about the need for everyone to become involved, because every association is only as strong as its membership, and the more members get involved, it's a beneficial kind of relationship both ways.
I guess as we drill down into some of the specific issues facing hunters in Alberta, perhaps nothing stands out more than chronic wasting disease. Brian, in terms of the AFGA has been on top of this. I mean, I think from the get-go when you guys were and when all of us were made aware of it, in terms of how things are progressing in terms of management decisions that are being made in reference to CWD. We're still waiting for a new directive on mule deer. Is it on track? Are you happy with the way things are going, or does there need to be a little bit more information?
Well, I think there has been some progress made. Obviously, status quo wasn't working, Michael. You know, we continue to see the spread and the increase in positive cases of CWD throughout Alberta. There's big concern that we're getting awful close to our parklands and worry about the chronic wasting disease getting into our caribou herds. So I'm glad to see that the meetings we've had in the mule deer management plan are geared towards CWD. I still don't know if it's going to be enough. I think what's happening now, the stage we're at, we're looking at basically delay tactics until some better solutions can be found. But I've had some great talks with staff at AEP, and they are looking at other areas throughout the world and what they've done to try to combat CWD, what's been successful, what hasn't been. And, you know, hopefully we're going to see a greater involvement in trying to look at this. I understand the pressure that they're under. I mean, there's a lot of groups that feel that, you know, things should just carry on as they are. But I'm really worried that we won't have any populations of game animals where we don't have CWD if we don't do something.
Is there a model out there right now that you think would be a good fit for Alberta?
You know, the models that I've seen, and I've been involved in quite a few webinars and other types of CWD presentations, and you know, there's a variety of means that have been utilized from extreme culls to you know, leaving things kind of let nature take its course, right? They've had some success with aggressive harvesting of animals in places like Illinois, and now it seems like they're kind of getting on top of some of their CW numbers. And I think that's kind of the approach that AEP is looking at now with the mule deer herds is a little more aggressive hunting to try and control the numbers and thereby reducing the spread.
There are many issues, I guess, out there in terms of, I guess, the other overarching one that kind of brings it all around, and that's the overall management of big game populations and waterfowl populations, although waterfowl is a federal jurisdiction. But still, when you look at that and the relationship that AEP has with all the various stakeholders, are you pleased with where that's going?
Well, I think, you know, COVID has definitely thrown a little bit of a wrench into what the work that's been done with the various stakeholder groups in AEP. And there's also been some restructuring taking place there. So I'm hoping it's only a blip, but a lot of the ongoing meetings and committee work has been kind of put to the side over the past year and a half or so. So meetings like the AgPAC, the Alberta Game Policy Advisory Committee meeting hasn't been held for quite some time. And these are very important meetings that, the committee work that's done there. It involves a wide variety of stakeholder groups and their interests in Alberta's wildlife. And I really think these need to get back on track. We need to have that input. And it's also an awareness so that people know what the long-term plans, goals, and objectives are.
All right. Well, as we get closer and closer to the general hunting season, let alone the bow season and waterfowl hunting, Brian, you and I think, are going to have a few more conversations in the next little while, and I look forward to it. Thanks so much for taking some time and at least giving us a glimpse into sort of some of the challenges that you are facing as the chair of the hunting committee within the Alberta Fish and Game Association.
Well, thank you very much, and wishing everybody a successful hunting season out there, and fill some freezers and get out and enjoy the great outdoors.